Hello. سمعتيني؟ I need to unmute you. Hi.
اوكي هاي سمعتك كثير منيح.
Okay, perfect.
هلا انا بس منتظره منك الليست
بعت لك اياها واتساب او بعت لك اياها private chat ثانية since we still did not stop it. هلا so far في 3 في عنا مايكل ضوء عنا خالد فتيلة
مع انه رول تيكر مش تايمر خالد.
ايه بس قلت له بخلي شو اسمه بصير منال حشوي بداله تايمر. هي already she's a backup timer so فيها هي تاخد عنه هالمرة. Okay, I'm gonna admit the guests in. Hello.
Hello, Gabriel. He's muted.
He's muted. Yeah, I muted him. I'm gonna unmute him.
Sorry.
That's okay. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
كيفكم؟
Very good.
My name is Gabriel, and I knew about the meeting, so I was like, yeah, why not? I've been wanting to attend the actual meetings for quite a while, but I wasn't able to, so it's a nice opportunity. Thanks for setting this up.
Thank you for attending, first of all, and of course we'll resume after that with our normal meetings. But we could also make use of the time we're spending at home and just continue with our virtual meetings normally. So, do you know about those? What do we usually do as an NGO?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now let's just wait for let's just check with everyone else if everything's working. So we're gonna take this time until 7:30 to check any technical difficulties, and then we'll start.
Great.
Okay.
I want to ask you, Gabriel, would you like to participate in Table Topics? Table Topics is the session where you have to improvise a speech. Would you like to participate in this section?
Yeah, why not? But we get the subject like directly, and then we.
Yes.
Okay, because I haven't attended any meeting, so I don't know the rules and regulations. I just know the general idea.
Okay, so
Okay,
Okay,
guys.
perfect.
Okay, so if you have any question, we'll be opening the chat boxes for some time, so you can talk through them. I'll now unmute you until we start, so that we can get to contact the others, like check with them.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Layla. Layal, sorry.
Hi.
Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Okay, so is the camera working, or you prefer not to open it?
I prefer not.
Okay, it's okay. So do you know about how do you know about Toastmasters?
My sister, Sarah Murtada.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you'll get to see her on stage, in our virtual stage. Okay, so as I said, if you have any questions, we will be opening the chat boxes for you to talk to us. But now I have to mute everyone so that we can proceed with the meeting. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Okay, so your microphone is working perfectly. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna mute you since everything's working fine with you. زهراء
هاي
سمعتيني منيح؟
صوت كتير واضح.
اوكي تمام الحمد لله. كيفك انت؟
أنا muted. أوكي.
اوكي اوكي سو ماشي كل شيء مبين بعده عندي انه you're muted so اوكي perfect.
عم تسمعيني منيح؟ عم تسمعوني منيح مبارك؟
Yes, everything is clear.
تمام.
Let's see. Andre. Andre. Can you just test the speaker, Andre?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Hello everyone. Hi Sarah, hi Hiba. Hi Gabrielle.
Okay, so since we're waiting for the people to join, I'd just like to brief those who are new to Toastmasters and they're not familiar with it about our NGO. So basically, our NGO is a non-governmental organization. It's an international one that helps people develop their public speaking and leadership skills. And how do we do that? We usually do that through our weekly meetings. We have clubs all over the world that do the exact same thing. We meet every week and we work on projects that are given to us by Toastmasters International. And these projects help us in developing those skills. And basically, every week we come up on stage, our members prepare their projects, they come up on stage and they deliver their speeches that they prepared with their mentors. And they get their evaluation at the end of the meeting in order to improve their skills and do better the next time. And that's basically how the cycle goes on. So you come up on stage, you deliver a speech, and then you get your evaluation, and then you go back and work on it and come back to deliver another speech. Now, for those of you who would like to participate in the table topics, please contact us so that we can, we need to know before the meeting starts so that we can organize the session. So please let us know through private chat before we lock the chat boxes. Razan, is everything working?
I guess yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
It's good to see you. It's your
Good
first
to see
time
you
here?
too. Yes, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure for us. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm gonna mute you so that we can test other speakers. Khalid, is everything working?
Loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Is our SAA available?
We're waiting for him to join. Hello, Abdullah. Can you please test the speaker if it's working?
Hi.
Hello. لا راحت الكاميرا.
في عندي مشكلة ما في عندي صوت. Just give me a second. I have to ظبط صوت الصوت. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, take your time. That's why we've logged in before. Hello, Mona.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
Okay, so everything is working.
ماشي المايك.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
So, TME, if you want me, please أشري لي. I'm muting.
Okay, that's sure. So this is just a reminder for those who just came in. If you wish to participate in table topics, you can tell us before the meeting starts. It's like an interview session. So someone prepares the questions, and you volunteer. We give you a question. You have to improvise a speech, a small speech, a 2-minute speech. So if you wish to participate in this session, please let us know. Is everything working with you, Abdullah? Hello, Omar.
Hello.
Okay, so it's working. Would you like to open your webcam so that we can see you?
منا شغالة عندي.
Okay.
أنا لما اشتريته هيدا في طريقتين ما يشتغل، يا بتجيب السي دي اللي حقه يمكن $50 يا بتعملي هات للسيستم، فعملت هات للسيستم واشتغلت.
Okay, no worries.
ما بأثر. عم تحكي؟
Diana, can you test the speaker?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Okay, just let me. Hello. Mo? Is that your name?
Okay, I'm back.
Hello, Muhammad.
Hello.
Okay, so it's working with you. Perfect. Would you like to participate in table topics?
Hi, Thoraya. I can't hear you.
I've muted myself. Hi, Kamal, how are you?
Okay. I'm good. لحظة شوي بس أحط أحط headphones.
Kamal, we miss you. Participate in table topics.
Yes, he added his name.
Oh, you. GE, TME, Soraya. I can only see Soraya, by the way.
Shave the other videos.
I can only, okay, now I can see. I have to go through the, I can swipe, okay. I see, all right. There's Khaled, Gabriel. Who else is there? Razan, Abdul Halla.
Guys, you can put gallery view to view all, not speaker view.
Wait, let me just put some headphones. I can see Hiba, Diana. Hi, Diana. Hello. Hi, Hiba. Good to see you. Layal. I don't think I know Layal. There's someone called iPhone. Anna iPhone.
You can rename yourself.
No. I'm naming myself. Meeting settings, chat, please, and I don't know how to name. How do I name myself?
We are playing the waiting game. We just wait. That's how you win.
Talking to me? Let me put the headphones.
Hey guys, I'm gonna mute everyone just so that we can test other speakers. Mute all. So you have Michael on mute. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Okay, so amazing. Can you open the webcam so that we can test it?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Michael, I'm gonna mute you so that we can test the others.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, perfect. Hi, Hassan.
Hello.
Is your mic perfect? Mic is perfect and your camera is working. Okay. Hi, SJ. Is your microphone working? Yeah. Okay, what about SJ? We have someone called SJ without a full name.
What happened to Manal?
Hello, Shaima. Can you hear us? Shaima, can you hear us?
Hey,
Hello. How are you?
and I'm good.
Very amazing. Very good. And it's a pleasure to have you here in our meetings.
Thank you.
Hello, Hannah.
Hi, كيفكم؟
How are you? Very good.
Good, miss you all.
We
Good to
miss
see
you more. We miss you more. Well, everybody's muted now, so I think they're gonna reply the same thing.
Hussein, I think we have a beautiful specimen on our hands.
I'm not sure. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We're gonna start this meeting today, our Toastmasters meeting. Welcome to another meeting of Mercury Toastmasters. As you have seen, I've muted all of you, and that will be the case throughout the meeting unless it is your turn to speak on a table topics. We would really love it if you turn on your webcam so that the speaker would see your reactions, and you can always react through the reactions down there. You can clap or cheer in any sort you wish. Moreover, just saying, you will be muted just to avoid distractions. So I hope no one is offended by that, and so that we could avoid background noise. I will move on to the natural rules that we have in every meeting, which are to refrain from talking about politics during the table topics, refrain from using cuss words, and refrain from talking about religion. That's almost it. Today's theme is going to be Quarantine 101. And since we're all in quarantine, I guess you all relate. It's all just about how to handle the situation. So right now I'm stuck at home, but I'm enjoying it. I can Netflix and chill, although I don't have Netflix, so I just pirate some movies. That's illegal, but okay. And I can just make sure that I'm safe, keeping my family safe, staying safe, using the necessary precautions, washing my hands, keeping it clean, verbally and literally. So without further ado, Khaled's laughter is distracting me, so please don't do that during speaking. Don't distract people with your expressions as well. So finally, without further ado, I present to you our president to officially start this meeting. Suraya?
Thank you, Hassan, for this lovely and welcoming introduction. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In the light of the COVID-19, everything now is on the internet, including our Toastmaster meetings. When the idea of Toastmasters online meetings was proposed, a lot of people inside our community got a little worried and started asking some questions. Like, how are we going to do an online Toastmaster meeting? What about the speaker's body language and posture? And to be honest, those are real concerns that should be looked into. However, there is one point that crossed my mind. In our weekly meetings, we usually have 3 sessions. We have the prepared speeches, the improvised speeches, and the evaluation session. Those 3 are different kinds of public speaking skills. But what about our everyday conversations? What about the content that we watch every day on TV, Facebook, Instagram, or any other virtual platform? Aren't those 2 public speaking? Now, when news reporters go up live to report news, they're using public speaking skills. And it is different than the public speaking that we use. It's different than speeches, but it's still considered public speaking. Public speaking is not limited to a stage and a speech. In fact, it is much more than that. It's much more general. It falls under the category of leadership and communication. And what is communication? Communication involves delivering an idea in the best way possible. So if there is a stage, we go up on stage and work on our body language, vocal variety, and all the ideas that we mentioned in our Toastmaster meetings. But what if we had no stage? Does this mean the end of our communication? Well, of course not. We still need to make sure that our ideas that we share are delivered in a way that is as interesting and as effective as being on stage. That is why we need to use those online meetings as an opportunity to learn new skills and to grow further. Now, without further ado, let us start this meeting. So recently I've been reading a book that's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. And he discusses the idea of self-renewal. Now, this self-renewal process, it involves 4 dimensions. The first one is the physical, which is keeping a healthy body. The second is the mental, which is keeping peace of mind. The third is spirituality, which might be religion, but it's not restricted to that. And finally, the social or emotional dimension. And basically, we need all these 4 dimensions in order to be balanced and to have our well-being. But while staying home, it is tough to balance all these 4, especially because we're not able to go outside. And it's been 13 days since we left our houses, and I'm not usually used to staying at home. The first few days went by very, very, very slowly, and I felt like dying of corona is not the worst thing after all. However, after a few days, things went smoother and I started to adapt to the life at home thanks to the people around me. And those 13 days were just a demo. We still have a long way. So we need to find ways to survive this time at home. And that's why I thought there's a need to share some of the ideas on how to spend our times while still balancing these 4 dimensions. But before we start, I have a team of role takers as in our usual meetings. So help me welcome our first role taker for tonight, our timer, Khalid.
I'll try to imagine you're clapping. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. In these times of unorthodox meetings, we use unorthodox methods to keep our time. I am your timer for the evening, and I do not have flags, I have balls. I have the balls to be the timer and to time you as well. I can see Hussein laughing at me in the distance. I will be using the green ball for 30 seconds for guests. For 1 minute for members, I'm going to be using the yellow ball for 1 minute and 30 seconds for guests, and 1 minute 30 seconds for members, and the red ball for 2 minutes for both guests and members. I will be holding you all accountable using my phone, and I want to share a small funny story about being quarantined. You see, today was our very first online lecturing, and it was fun. The time went smoothly. Why? Because as the lecturer was speaking, I was eating ka'ik, I went to the toilet, and I even went to bed while I was still listening to the whole lecture. The doctor was proud because I was chatting to him in the chat box. So yeah, I both understood everything and I was comfortable. So see this time in the quarantine as comfort time. Yes, we are wasting so much time, but no, we are still using it for our advantage. I hope you all enjoy your table topic sessions, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Khalid, for this lovely introduction. Now, there's just one thing that I wanted to mention is that our meeting is being recorded. So in case any of the speakers doesn't wish to be recorded, please tell us so that we can stop the recording when you speak, and we'll proceed after that. Now it is time to move on to our next role taker, who is our grammarian. So help me welcome in our virtual meeting, our grammarian, Sarah Murtada.
Hi guys. Good evening everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Good evening. We always wish to have some free time, don't we? Until the quarantine came and we start having too much free boring time, to the extent that we start laughing in mirth on the memes and videos the elderly in our family send. For tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be the grammarian, and I'll try to note your language mistakes and the good use of it to help you, myself, and everyone learn. And as usual, we have the word of the day, and it is mirth. I will change my background to show it for you. Okay, it is. Oh, okay, then. Okay, the word of the day is mirth. It means amusement. An example of how to use it is with mirth and laughter. Let the quarantine pass. And what we do when someone uses the word of the day. Unfortunately, we can't do drumbles, but we can show excitement and thumbs up. Can you see me? Yeah. I'll be back at the end of the meeting with my report. Thank you. Okay.
So now it is time to start our meeting. Now, when we are home, we usually have access to food and all of our physical necessities. So we can fulfill our physical needs, and we can also fulfill our spiritual needs, each in its own way. However, when we are locked up, our emotional and social need is usually fulfilled by the people living in the house. And this is usually not enough. So we need our connection with our friends, colleagues, and our extended families. In an attempt to motivate ourselves, here is a list of things that you could do to stay in touch with those you love. So currently, a lot of us are working at home. Some of us are not. As for me, I'm working at home. And during the first few days, it was very difficult to adapt to working from home because basically my routine changed suddenly. And we used to have our morning coffee, we used to have lunch breaks, and then we used to hang out after the meeting with my friends at work. So what we did is we tried to mimic the same routine as much as we could. We tried to keep it. And at around lunchtime, we would stop working, we would make a group call with each other, we'd start talking about how our day went, we'd go back, we finish eating, then we go back, and we continue making this group call just to have the noise that they make as background while we're working. Now, we would not necessarily talk about anything, but just the presence of them working around me puts me in the mindset to work. It feels like as if I'm in the office. And it's very motivating to sense that they're going through the same struggles that I'm going through. And that's how my day started to pass a little bit quickly. As for the Hangouts, we still did those after work. We found several apps that allowed us to play together in online platforms. So for example, some of these apps were like Jawakir, if you're interested in playing cards. You have also apps that allow you to play board games, such as Catan Universe. There's also the online version of Cards Against Humanity. It's called Evil Apples. We would open those games and we'd start playing together while on phone call with each other so that we can sense our real reaction. Now, it is not the best case scenario, but it is better than sitting at home watching the news about mirth and getting more stressed. Now, it is time to move on to our table topics session, in which every one of you can participate. So please do not hesitate. If you are interested in participating in this session, please let us know by the raise of hand in case you didn't sign up. And I will give control to our table topics master, Sarah. Hiba Hamoud. Help me welcome Hiba Hamoud.
Good evening. In table topics, speakers are required to improvise their speeches. Improvising is not easy. It's not easy to present a speech without preparing it. However, improvising is very important. It helps you think on your feet, and it helps you react quickly to unexpected situations. So table topics is an opportunity for guests and speakers to improve their improvisation skills. Before I start, let me welcome the timer to communicate with you the timing rules. The timer, Khalid.
Yeah, so I'm back with the balls of destiny. So let me repeat the timing rules. For guests, we have 30 minutes for the green ball, 1 minute 30 for the yellow, and 2 minutes for the red ball with a 30-second grace period. While for the members, we have 1 minute for the green ball, 1 minute 30 for the yellow ball, and 2 minutes and for the red ball with a 30-second grace period. I will be back with my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. So to add to the challenging trait that table topics have, I will add another challenge, which is not to talk about the coronavirus. We will talk about the quarantine, but not
the coronavirus. How many times how much time are we spending talking about the coronavirus? How many messages, jokes, articles are we receiving on a daily basis? Let's take a pause from that and in this session, and let's see if the speakers are up to the challenge. The first speaker is Kamal Kassab. Before I start, I would like to make sure that I would like to recommend the table topic speakers to pin the timer so they stay updated about the time passing. The timer is Khalid. And I would like to remind you about the word of the day, which is mirth. Okay, Kamal?
Yes. Hi, Heba.
Hi. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The question is, what is the first thing you would like to do when quarantine is over? Quarantine is over. You can find the question in the chat box too. Chat box too. The screen is yours.
This may come as a shock to most of you. I'm not living in Beirut, and I'm working in a country which is affected by the disease. However, because I'm working in the construction industry, we are not allowed to quarantine at home. So during these 11 days, or I don't know how many days you've been at home quarantine, I've been going to work and working overtime. In fact, I am at my office right now, still working for an important delivery for tomorrow. However, I could not miss the Toastmasters. However, if I were to be in quarantine, the first thing I would like to do is to travel. I miss traveling. I haven't traveled since I left Lebanon, and it's been 4 months almost. And it would be always great to go back to Lebanon and to visit Toastmasters again. I believe that the traveling will also expose me to new experiences, such as sightseeing, meeting new people, exploring new cultures, which is something I miss a lot. Thank you, and I hope to see you all very soon.
Thank you, Kamal, and we wish we'll see you soon. And now, let me welcome Michael Tau on the screen. Are you ready, Michael? Michael?
Yes, I am. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. So, Michael, tell us about something you realized about yourself in quarantine. Tell us about something you realized about yourself in quarantine. The screen is yours.
Good evening, everyone. When Thuraya gave her introduction, she talked about a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In this book, Stephen Covey discusses the story of a man named Viktor Frankl. This man was a prisoner in a concentration camp in Germany, in Nazi Germany. And the funny thing is that this man, Viktor Franklin, overcame this physical prison by becoming free in his mind. He decided not to be sad, not to be depressed, not to worry about tomorrow, because he could get killed in any second. So sitting in quarantine made me realize that you don't need physical freedom to be free. You need freedom in your mind. You need to have responsibility, responsible not to be sad, not to be depressed, not to miss the good old days, and the that's something that one could lose. So if you don't keep yourself under control, under check, you can forget that and go back to the same old cycle. So it's all about staying strong and remembering that freedom is in the mind. It's not outside. Thank you. Hiba.
It seems the electricity cut.
It's not 6 o'clock.
Okay, who would like to go up next? Yes, Omar? Okay. I have a question for you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening. I have a question for you. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. This quarantine will never end eventually. It will never end for about 2 or 3 months. You have 5 items for you to wait these 3 months. What would you do?
5 items to wait or to what to do?
To pass time in these 5 months and in these
Okay.
3 months.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. In this age of technology and globalization, in this quarantine time, you need, if there were only 5 things that I need to have with me, first of all is my phone, because we are all connected now through the phones, through the laptops, through technology, basically. The second thing is a stable 3G connection, because we all know that we are now in the internet age. We are in a globalized world where most of our works are done through the internet. So we can't hide from the issue that now we live in the internet age, and we have to live with the internet. The third thing is a stack of books, because yes, you have to read. You can't find all the information through the internet. You have to read. You have to exercise your mind to read, and read in a loud voice. Because yes, in this quarantine time, I've read like about three books, which are in a which one book is about sports, the other is about psychology, and one is about social life. The third and the fourth thing are food and clothes, clean clothes and food, because we have to eat to survive, and we have to change clothes because it's more hygienic to change our clothes every 2 or 3 days. And the last thing, you may be laugh, it's my mother, because we all love we all love our moms, and she is my support system. So if I have to live my life, I have to choose my mom, but I also love my dad. So, but I love my mom. So, and those are the 5 things that I would have to have with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar, for such a wholesome answer. Yes, we do indeed need our parents. Back to you, sir.
Hello, everyone. So, Hiba, can you?
Yes.
Are you with us now? Okay, perfect. So I return control to Hiba.
And now let us welcome Gabriel, the guest on screen. Gabriel, are you ready? Gabriel. Okay. Okay. Razan, please welcome Razan. Razan.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Well, Razan, you have the stage to convince people in quarantine to join our Toastmasters Zoom meeting. The floor is yours. You have the stage to convince people in quarantine to join our Toastmasters Zoom meeting. The screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master Hiba. Now, I've been trying to do this for so long, is that whenever there is conflict in Toastmasters meeting, I have to make a whole meeting and conduct it with my own self just to decide which meeting should I go for. And now, imagine that I am right now attending 2 meetings at once. Now, before, that wasn't possible. Everyone were busy, and I am from a different country. But guess what? It is possible now. See, quarantine is not that bad after all. Because guess what? You can attend Toastmasters meetings from all around the globe. And you can never say that you're busy because nobody's busy now. Nobody. That's not an excuse anymore. So if I were you, I would benefit from my time and attend Toastmasters meetings because they are such an unrepeated experience. And guess what? More importantly, now you can attend double the regular or the usual amount of meetings that you used to attend. And that's it for me. Back to you, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure more people will join if they hear your speech. And now, please welcome Gabriel. Hello, Gabriel.
Thank you for hosting me.
Hi. Gabriel, tell us about a habit you started to adopt or you would like to adopt while you are in quarantine.
Okay, I guess the whole situation. I think I have a positive look upon it because we've been given time, and time is a valuable asset that sometimes we take for granted, and we usually took a lot of things that we for granted. And having this time to reflect upon our lives, our daily life, our daily actions, is actually a blessing. A habit that I'm regularly doing now is spending more time with my family. Because I usually live in Beirut. Now I'm back home in Batroun, and I have more time to spend with my family. It's not an option. It's actually something that I have to do. So I'm taking this as a positive, as a positive thing to catch up with them and get to know them more, because I'm not the same person when I left the house, because I've grown, I've went through experiences, and it's something good to connect with your parents, with your siblings, and reflect on all the situations, discuss options, opinions, life decisions. So it's a habit that we need to take. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel. We rarely look at things in a positive aspect and the bright side. Please give a round of applause to Gabriel. Okay. The next speaker will be Sarah. Sarah? Is Sarah ready?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay.
Sarah, people in Toastmasters are unstoppable. What would you say to people who say otherwise? People in Toastmasters are unstoppable. What would you say to people who say otherwise? The screen is yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Is my voice hearable for everyone, or it's good? Okay, so, well, once I've been told that you guys in Toastmaster don't do anything. I mean, you only meet in a place, you hang out. You are just a bunch of people hanging around without any purpose. And you're not the kind of people who are unstoppable. I mean, a simple quarantine can just take the whole amazement of the meetings off. But I'm here today to prove that they were wrong. Because the quarantine never stopped us from doing our usual meeting. Well, because tonight we're all meeting, and tonight we're all together, and nothing ever changed. So how can a person say that we are stoppable? Why we are gathered here? We're doing table topics. We're speaking as if we were all together, and we're meeting as if nothing had changed. So to those people I say, give it the dare, because we're unstoppable and nothing is gonna come in our way. We're always gonna practice. We're always gonna keep moving forward, and we're always gonna have Toastmasters meetings, no matter what happens. Thank you.
Hello. We are unstoppable, actually. Who would like to go next? But can you show me by reaction or? عبد الرحمن الحلاق. عبد الرحمن. عبد الرحمن.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening. Well, Abdurrahman, your best friend has started a bad habit, which is binge eating. Can you convince him or her to leave that habit?
Strange why Khalid is laughing, يعني, بس I'm just... but can I get the question again?
Okay. Your best friend has started a bad habit, which is binge eating. Can you convince him or her to leave that habit?
No timing rules for you. Don't listen.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So when I heard the question, my first reaction was I'd call them and tell them to save me a space next to them and add an extra plate. That was the initial idea. But you see, the thing is, free time can be a killer, as in it can literally kill someone. They can, because, you know, free time can always put someone in quite the conundrum. They can sometimes be, you know, free to open to any new ideas. But the problem is, the more free time they have and the more emptiness, if we can say so, in their schedule, there be present. The thing is that they'd be more accepting to, you know, uh, habits that are a bit off the norm. So the thing is, the way I try to, at least to me, the way I try to convince them would be, okay, just stop flashing your balls. My sorry, sorry. Well, okay, that was the wrong term. Sorry, Khaled. Sorry, everyone. Yes. So the way I try to convince them would be to tell them first to fill up their free time with anything else. I mean, they can still binge watch whatever they want, but they can add a challenge to it. For example, when a certain character says a certain word or a certain phrase, or there's a certain action they do, they can do push-ups or something. So, for example, when I'm playing my video games, every time I die, I do a certain sports action. That's one way to do it. So we have to find the certain action that would let them fill up their time and let them accept it, because binge eating or eating in general, when it becomes way too excessive, can really affect a person's health, especially during the quarantine, where you ultimately need your health to be at the best that it can. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm personally falling into it. So thank you, Abdurrahman. Okay. The next speaker will be Muhammad Arnaout. Muhammad Arnaout, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Muhammad. Good evening, Muhammad.
Good evening.
Okay. Muhammad, okay. Most of us are currently bored, and I personally was bored to a point that I started skimming the gallery of my old phone. Tell us about something silly you have done out of boredom.
Well, if I did, good evening, everyone. I
Do you-
think in the quarantine, we have done a lot of silly things. Personally, me, if I can tell you one thing about is my computer, I started relocating the images. You know, sometimes the computer has a lot of desktop icons. So I started relocating them as alphabetically. That's how I was bored. Relocating them, and on my phone, I started renaming the people. For example, when you add someone and you don't know their name, so you start adding them by their name initiated from the iPhone. That's how I used to add them, these people. That's how bored I was. I think maybe in the next session I think pickpocketing receipts, you know, like an OCD or something like that. Just putting them just to make the time pass, because it has been boring, even though I have tried to initiate in a lot of things. But I could say that I think it's a good way, you know, to reflect on ourselves and to know what are we doing. And I would say that you know, sometimes we can get bored, but I think boredom shows us an initiation that we can do better. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Muhammad Arnaout. Please give him a round of applause. Okay. Hana Munzir. Hana?
Hi.
Hi. Okay. Hana, if you had the choice to make someone join you now in quarantine, who would that person be? If you had the choice to make someone join you now in quarantine, who that person be? The screen is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Well, to be honest, I haven't thought about anyone in specific for multiple reasons. Because funny thing is that after this quarantine, I actually connecting and networking with more people. And to be honest, most of you here, I have been seeing more often, more than what I usually used to see them. And I believe this opportunity, yet we have to always be safe, but it's an opportunity where we were able to discover new things. Like we are able to meet online. Some meetings we used to like do face-to-face and they were a little bit waste of time, like getting into the road and reaching out to be like right on time. Another thing is that I believe that we are able to adjust our goals, to reach our goals by adjusting our way to reach the goals. And I believe we have made a beautiful job. Therefore, I wouldn't choose anyone at this point because I am able to connect to each and every one of you by just one click. And I believe that it's a privilege and there's no need for face-to-face meetings at this point, as long as we can keep everyone safe and all the people that we love safe. Thank you.
Thank you. And inspired from Hana Munzer's speech, the next question will be about something similar. Gérard Najm. Gérard?
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Well, good evening, everyone.
Gérard?
Yes, this is my first time here.
You're welcome.
And
Yeah,
the first Toastmaster actually experience.
I'm glad you joined us. Sometimes some meetings could have been emails. Tell us about a thing you realized could have been easily done virtually. Some meetings could have been emails. Tell us about a thing you realized could have been easily done virtually.
Tell you about something I realized that could be easily done virtually.
Yes.
This is the question.
Yes.
Well, as a matter of fact, this meeting right now happened because it was virtual. My problem was the transportation and time we consume on the roads and the family commitments is a bit difficult these times. So you can't find maybe for the first time. So I think this is one of the benefits of the current time. It opened our eyes to new perspectives, to change our paradigm of thinking. So we can do things different now. That's one example. Me being here with you guys. So that's an example of what can be done virtually. So I think many businesses will shift now towards this this way of thinking.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. We're glad you're here with us today, and give him a round of applause, please. Hussein Douh. Hussein?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Yes. Hussein, did quarantine give you more meaning to social interactions?
All right.
Did quarantine give you more meaning to social interactions?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today's meeting seems to be a very interesting one. I've expected more of a different ways of answers, to read things differently, maybe to talk a bit more about how to keep ourselves safe, but we've had more than enough of that. So I enjoy that we're doing this in such a way that we're basically focusing on how we would feel and how it feels, more of the psychological factor than the physical. Moving on to what social interactions meant to me. Social interactions wasn't very frequent in the past few years. I wasn't a social butterfly. In fact, I was slightly antisocial. I was a bit of a loner most of my time. I'd spent most of my time playing video games, most of my time at home, rarely going out during school years. And then when I came to university, it didn't change much until very recently when I started Toastmasters. I started Toastmasters, it became different. I understood what it means to be social, to go around, talk to people that I might not know, to introduce the guests, to ask them of their information without feeling a bit socially awkward. It became a reasonable experience, something that I truly enjoyed. So what did the quarantine do with my social interactions? It made my social interactions go to a minimum, although I could talk to people virtually. What it also taught me, after being a loner, is that social interactions is beyond physical contact or just being able to see someone face to face, that it is a little bit more than that, and that social interactions are easier than you think. So if you're out there feeling alone, all you have to do is virtually meet someone or go to your nearest Toastmasters club. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Hassan. Who would like to go next? Can you, by raise of hand? Does anyone would like to go next? Well,
We have someone raising their hand. Muhammad.
Hello.
Muhammad. Hello, Muhammad.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Okay. Muhammad,
Yes.
tell us about a term or information you received while you are in quarantine.
Can you repeat?
I personally learned the term quarantine, and I'm still learning how to pronounce it. So tell me about a term or an information you received because you are in quarantine. Tell me about a term or an information you received.
Is it necessary to be a term,
because
or
you are in quarantine?
I'm just trying to now learn the word mirth. That's the grammar.
Any information.
Okay. Maybe the thing that I'm trying to learn nowadays is how to get to know my family more. I've learned that my mom is funnier than I thought, and my dad knows how to cook. I've never known that, and I learned how to deal with my sister and brother. We've always have fights when we were younger, and these are personal information that I've learned, but there's no much more. I don't think I've learned much more than this. Concerning terms, I've not learned any new term except quarantine that everyone has learned these days.
Okay. Thank you. And for voting, I would like to ask first the timer if all the speakers are eligible.
yes, all these peers were eligible for voting. Let me recap them. We have Kamal talking about him being working abroad in construction. Michael, freedom behind bars. Omar Daoud, 5 items to pass time. Gabriel, things taken for granted. Razan, meeting crisis and how to overcome them. Sarah Hashim, being unstoppable. Abed Halla, binge eating. Muhammad Arnaout, sorting out your photos, connecting to everyone. Gerard, excuse me, ما بعرف. أحسن interaction. And the last Muhammad, he got
We just faced some technical difficulties. It seems like Khalid went offline. I think he lost connection. So I'll give back the control to our table topics master.
Okay. I would like to say that I'm very impressed and I'm very proud of you how you all passed the challenge of not mentioning the virus. Thank you. You will receive a poll soon to vote to the best table topic speaker. And back to you, Suraya.
So, hello again, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, before I tell you what I have more to talk about, I would like to ask you, by the raise of hands, to share with me what are ideas that you were doing during your time at home. So who wants to share with us? Sarah. Hussein, can you please unmute Sarah? Hussein.
Hello again.
Hello.
Well, what I've learned from being in quarantine was that like 3 weeks after now, I'm gonna wish for the free time I have now. Because honestly, I mean, when you are working, each day counts. And when you want to take a day off, you always like try to analyze, do I take this day or no, this day is better, because you have a limited amount of days I can take off. Although this time it's not really open, but we know that it's like I never thought that I will have like 2 weeks to stay home and enjoying reading my own books, working on my thesis, and watch television in a free way, in the way that I'm feeling right now. Actually, it's really relaxing, and I'm really trying to make the best out of being home now, because I really know that eventually it's gonna end. I'm gonna back to our routine life. So let's try all to make more out of this experience, because although it's negative some way, because there's a lot of things that are worrying us, to be honest, it's a chance to practice all the things that we thought we wanted to do one day, and we didn't have the chance because the lack of free time that we had. So I think this is it.
Okay, amazing. Any more ideas? Diana.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so mainly one thing I've been saying I wanted to do since forever is to learn a new skill. And with this free time that you have now at home, I'm actually starting to search for online courses for basic coding skills that I might use in my work or in anything else in the future. So that's also one thing that we can all benefit from. They're free online courses about everything that you would like, and that's it mainly.
Amazing. I think we could all use this time to learn new things and use our time wisely. So anyone else has some ideas? Okay. So I would like to ask from our timer to repeat the names, please. Khalid. Khalid. Can you please repeat the names?
Yes, sure. Wait a second. Okay, we have Kamal, we have Michael, we have Gabriel, we have Razan, we have Abed Halla, Muhammad Arnaout, Hana Munzer, Gerard, Hussein, and the last Muhammad.
Are they all eligible for voting?
Yes, Toastmaster, they are all eligible for voting.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to be launching a poll for you to vote for your best speaker. So just give me 1 second because the internet is it's really good in Lebanon.
There's also Sarah Hashem.
Yes, I
I
added
didn't read her.
Okay. So I launched the poll. Let's take a few minutes to vote for the best speaker.
Vote for your favorite speaker right here in Toastmasters.
Yes, I know it's 2 pages, but because we can't add more than 10, so just vote and we can find the one with the higher percentages. So did everyone vote? Okay, guys. I would like to also ask you for constructive feedback from you guys to all of the role takers. You can do that through the chat boxes. So send your constructive feedbacks and let's take a minute to do so. Now, we usually during our meetings, we have our very cute little ballots, but this is how we'll adapt. Yes, you can send them privately so that we keep it anonymous and we. Okay. So I think we can move on with our meeting. Now, thank you, Hiba, first of all, for this amazing session. I think we need more of that to spend our time in a very fun way. And now we're going to continue. But before we move on with our evaluation session, we talked previously about our emotional and social dimension. And now it's time to talk about our physical dimension. Now, we shouldn't forget to work out. There are a lot of initiatives from coaches to give online classes for their students. And in addition to that, in case you don't know any of these instructors, there are a lot of online materials for ideas to exercise at home and how you can adapt working out at home that you could make use of. And some of us might not be excited to work out at home, but it is very important during this period of time. We need to make sure that our bodies are strong and are immune. So working out boosts our immunity and helps us deal with stress. We need strong bodies and minds. Now we will move on to our next session, which is the evaluation session. However, I won't be leading it. Our fellow Toastmasters, Mary Jo Shaheen, will be. Help me welcome Mary Jo.
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me well? Just give me a thumb up if you can. Okay, awesome. So thank you so much, Soraya, for this amazing meeting. It was simple, yet very useful and very uplifting. I will be your general evaluator, and for those of you who don't know about our meetings, every meeting we have a general evaluation at the end of the meeting in order to evaluate how we did in general and evaluate all the role takers. So I will not be leading this session on my own. I have a team of role takers that will help me out. First of all, help me welcome the table topics evaluator, Diana Matar, who will be evaluating the table topics session. So Diana, the floor is yours.
Good evening, everyone. You can hear me well? Okay. So first, I want to start by saying that your participation caused mirth to everyone. And we're very excited to be back with all of you doing our meeting, and like really nothing has changed. So I'm gonna start with evaluating each table topic speaker, and then at the end I will give some general notes for everyone. So first there's Kamal. Kamal talked about the first thing he would want to do when the quarantine is over. He started directly telling us that he's actually not in quarantine since he's still going to work. And he later moved to tell us that if he was, the first thing he would like to do is to travel. Kamal, I just have one note for you. It's that when you first heard the question, you directly thought about what is your situation now. It's that you're not in quarantine. So you answered in a very spontaneous way without really thinking the answer through. So at the end of the conclusion, you were like, yeah, so I think I would travel. So I'll just say that if you would like to take a little bit time to think at the beginning, to have a more just structured, speech at the end. But I like the way that the thing that you would like to come back to Lebanon, and we also can't wait to see you when all this is over. So thank you. The second speaker was Michael. So Michael, your question was something you realized about yourself when you're in quarantine. And it was nice how you started your speech by relating to Soraya's introduction about the book. And then you related your question, you related your answer to the information in that book. So that was nice. However, you also lost it a bit in the conclusion since I feel like you had too many things to say. So you were like, okay, should I stop now? Should I continue? So also if you just take a bit of time to think more your answer through. However, it was nice how you ended in the conclusion with the main point again, telling us about how freedom is really in your mind, not physical freedom. So you went back to the main point, which was nice. So that's it. Our third speaker was Omar Daou. Your question was, the quarantine will last for many months, and what will you like to have with you? It was nice also how you organized by saying many points, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd like to have these, and you elaborated about each point you talked about. However, you could also leverage the screen to use your hands. So for example, the first thing I would like to take with me is the phone. The second thing is a stable 3G connection. The third thing, so for us to feel like more interactive with you. And that's it, thank you. The fourth speaker was Razan. Razan, your question was to convince people to join TME, Toastmasters. And it's nice how you also related to your own experience, how you're not in the country, and because of these online meetings, you were able to be with us. I also liked how you used the questions of, well, guess what? No one is busy now, and guess what? We have the online meetings. So it's a nice way to like motivate people and like make them interested in joining. And I also liked that you had the good hand gestures. You were pointing at yourself and how you are and what you would like others to do. So that was also nice. Just one comment is that you divide your answer more clearly, because you directly started stating reasons. So you could maybe just give a small introduction about TME or something like this. Next, we have Gabriel. So Gabriel, your question was about a new habit you have now during this quarantine. You had a good organization of your speech, because you started to talk about how time is taken for granted. However, now we have more time to actually connect with people, especially your family. It was nice also as a guest and as having to give the answer in an online meeting. You weren't hesitant at all while talking, so you showed confidence, which is very nice, and I hope to see you more like on table topics. I just have also one thing, one comment is that try to conclude in a better way, like to mention the main point that you're saying and the conclusion, because also I felt that you answered directly, so maybe you didn't really think through all the ideas that you wanted to mention. You ended with like, okay, so thank you. So that's that's the only comment. And you can also, for example, you can end with something like, I encourage you to do the same, or something like that. I hope to see you more on the screen until this is over. Our next speaker was Sarah Hashim. Sarah, your question was about if people said that TM are unstoppable, and what do you say to people who said otherwise? You started with the question that other people might ask you about TME, and it's nice how you gave them an experience about the current challenges that we're facing, how we're really unstoppable. So you gave a concrete example about this idea. Moreover, one thing I love about you is your vocal variety. So it's very nice how you like, it shows very much interest, and at the end you were like, so I will show you what Toastmaster is and how we are unstoppable. And with your voice, I feel like it's very motivational, and yes, and you make things seem very interesting. So good job. The next speaker is Abdulrahman. Is Abdulrahman still with us? Yes, I saw you. Okay, so your question was if your best friend started a bad habit about binge eating, how would you convince them otherwise? So it's nice how you said that you would convince them with a challenge, and you gave some examples of what other things he might do other than binge eat. One recommendation I have to make the answer more interesting is that you can actually make it like you're talking to him. So you can say, hey, Khalid, for example, if he's your friend, what are you doing? Stop binge eating, let's do this together. So make the speech as if you're actually talking to him and trying to convince him. But other than that, the ideas were nice and how you gave examples. So thank you. Our next speaker was Muhammad Arnaout. Okay. Muhammad, the question were, we're bored and what are silly things that you did out of boredom? It was nice how you directly started answering to the point, and you actually said the things that you are doing, and then you shifted to give a moral point of view about how to actually do more productive things and not to stick to the silly things you do while you're bored. Just one recommendation about the voice is I think it's better for us to use earphones to hear you more because your voice was a little bit low. But other than that, it was great. So thank you. Hannah, I think Hannah is not with us, but I will answer. I will give her the evaluation. Hannah's question was about someone you would like to join with, you would like to have with you in the quarantine, and she mentioned how this quarantine gave her more time to network with people and see them more than she actually does in her normal life. However, we would have loved to know, like, literally one person who you would like to have with you in the quarantine. It was a smart way to not answer for about one person. The next speaker was Jarar Najm. Okay, so it was about stuff that could be made easily virtual, and it was very nice how you directly talked about Toastmasters from a personal experience, and how this helped to put more stuff into perspective. One thing I would also recommend is to take time to think before you answer, because it's always okay for us in the table topics to actually take 30 seconds to think about the answer, because your answer was a bit short. It was a very nice example, but it was short. So maybe you could have thought of more examples or elaborated more on that Toastmaster example. However, it's very nice to have you and hope to see you more. The last two speakers, Hussein, did quarantine give you more meaning to social interaction? It's also nice how you turned it to the psychological aspect of the social interaction, and you also started with a personal experience and how Toastmasters help you, especially in these times, to have these meetings, not to feel alone. And it's nice also that at the end you gave moral about how now we can actually meet virtually and have more time for social interaction that also shouldn't always be physical. One recommendation, two actually small recommendations, is try to use vocal variety better to encourage us, motivate us more to come to to attend these online meetings, plus a good organization, a better organization. Other than that, it was great. Finally, we have Muhammad, the last speaker. Was he? Yes. So Muhammad, the question was a term or information you received because you're in quarantine. It's also nice how, of course, we're all now relating to personal experiences since we have not a lot of stuff to do outside the house. But it's nice how you talked about your family and how you used to be before quarantine and now. Also, one note is to take the time to think for better organization. Maybe some people are guests or attending for the first time, but actually we we usually do take 30 seconds or even a little bit more time to think through our answers. I'm gonna stop speaking in just 30 seconds. So the last comments that I'm gonna say for everyone, for all the table topic speaker, they're more virtually related comments, is that always try to have your camera set from the beginning the way you want it to be, like your laptop, and try to have a full screen to see you in a good way. Another thing is that since you are meeting virtually, some people might not focus a lot on body language. However, if you put your laptop in a good way that we can see you, we can see your upper body part, and you can leverage your hands. So also try to use your hands to make the speech more interactive, even if we're online, but we can actually feel each other and like interact with your answers. So that's it. That's it for me. I hope you all benefited, and I return back control to Marijo. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana. So a very brief evaluation of Diana's evaluation. So I really loved her listening skills and how she focused on everyone and all what they did good and what they did, what they could improve. A small note, so Khalid putting the yellow and red balls. It's true that it took a lot of time, but I really, something I want to point out, that it's very important for all of you to listen to all of the evaluations, not only your evaluation. So don't wait for your evaluation and listen to it, then forget the rest, because these evaluations are useful for anyone, even if it's not your own, because you can benefit from it for your future speeches. So now for our grammarians report, let me welcome Sarah on the screen.
Hello again. Today, I think the guests they have good English, so we don't have that much mistakes. Actually I didn't write any mistake. I just heard some one or two words with S, and they shouldn't be with S. And we have very nice expressions. The good old days. I'm not the same person when I left. It changed our paradigm of thinking. I learned it actually from Gerard, I think. Yeah. Social butterfly. I'm a loner. And thank you, Suraya and Diana, for using the word of the day. And that's all, I think.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. So a brief evaluation of Sarah's report. Sarah, you were clear, your report was clear, and your introduction was very nice and related to the theme. I would have preferred if you found some mistakes and pointed them out and gave a few advice, but it's fine if you didn't find too many. I loved the expressions you mentioned. They were very nice indeed, and we learned from them. And about the word of the day, I found it very interesting. It was harder than we usually put them. Sometimes we put some word of the days that are not hard, that are too easy. I find that the word of the day should be a bit harder than usual, so that we can learn something new. Even if not all of us will use them in our speeches, but we can try. You can try to remind us more in the chat box to use it, but I loved how you put it in your background so that we always saw it when we saw your camera. So now for my general report. I will try to be brief because we're out of time. Starting with our SAA. Hussein, you were great as usual. You welcomed us into the meeting with your usual positivity. However, you did not introduce the guests, which was preferable if you introduced them and made sure that we welcomed them. So maybe someone would have wanted to introduce themselves to us. So we had some new guests among us. So next time, maybe you can write their names down, maybe because you had some difficulties and you joined late, so it's fine. Maybe if we have this difficulty, we can take over and introduce the guests ourselves, either myself or Suraya as the president. So great job on your intro, however. For the Toastmaster of the evening, Suraya, I really loved the theme. It was very related to the mood we are in, and we needed something like this to uplift us, and your advice were useful. We learned some about how we can spend our time to have fun, as well as how to keep ourselves physically fit and sociable. So it was very good. And you did not mention Corona, which I loved, because we're all tired, I think, of listening to Corona every time. So it was very good. Thank you for this. For our timer, you were very professional in your intro. I missed your first intro because I had some difficulties, but your second intro for the table topics, it was great. It was clear. The balls were usually, for those who don't know, usually we use timer cards. The balls were very nice to improvise with. However, I felt some were distracted with them, and they didn't fill the entire screen. But I like them. We can consider if we keep them or not, if we find another potential solution. They distract some of our guests, but they were good. You played your role very well. For our TTM Hiba, I loved how you introduced the goal of the table topics master and the table topics, how we can use them, because we had some guests and it's always important to introduce what is the table topics and the use of it. I loved the questions, they were related to the theme, and I loved how you pointed out also to not mention Corona. So this is a meeting that helped us, helped our mental health in general in so many ways. I'm glad. So thank you. A small note, always make sure to repeat the question. You did repeat it, but in the first few questions you forgot to repeat it, but we wrote them in the chat box, so it's okay. But other than that, it was good. Okay, did I miss anyone? Do I have, I think I mentioned everyone. Just a few comments about in general. Just try to, for example, Hussein in the beginning and many of our speakers, try to not only show your face on camera, show also your body. You can stand up, or if your surrounding enables you, or show your upper body so that we can see your movements as if we were in a regular meeting. It's a bit difficult, but we can try to get used to it to see our body movements as well as our speaking skills. Try also to work on your lighting. For example, myself now is a bit faded, but it's good. Okay, one note, I felt that our meeting lacked a bit of the usual excitement, which was normal because we're not listening. I'm not able to hear you clap or hear your good evenings. I feel like I missed this so much. So maybe we can work on that next time. Maybe we can unmute after each speaker and clap, or put something to clap. We were discussing that. So to add a bit of excitement or interactiveness. And last, I just wanted to note about the general, about the virtual backgrounds. It's fine to use a general background, but please make sure it's not too distracting. For example, Diana's background is simple, it's fine, but Abed, while you were talking, I could not distinguish you from Iron Man. So, so this is a note to make sure that your background is clear and not too distracting with too many colors and everything. We love Marvel, but it's too much to have it in your background. Okay, so I guess that's it for me. I give back now the control to our TME, Suraya.
Thank you, Mary Jo, for this lovely evaluation. I bet everybody could benefit from it. Now, this is the end of the meeting, but before we end, I wanted to add that you could use this opportunity to do a lot of new things other than the things that we mentioned before. So, for example, you could read those books that you wanted to read. You could watch the series you wanted to watch. Or you could even try to find new hobbies that you could practice. For example, a lot of the people that I know, men and women, started to learn how to cook. People, I've seen other people also practice their makeup skills. You could pamper yourself, you could spend time with your family. So just stay strong. With the right mindset, we can do this. It's just a matter of time before the situation gets better. All we need to do is to survive this while maintaining a healthy body and a healthy mind. So just stay strong and we can do this. Now it is time for the results. So who's excited? By the show of hands. I know I am. Okay, so the winner is, the best speaker for today was Razan. And I'm gonna unmute all of you so that we can congratulate Razan.
Woo!
Yay!
Oh my god.
Congrats!
Okay, so usually we give ribbons, but
guys.
So congratulations, Razan, on winning the best table topics. We
هذا كمل.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna mute you back so that we can finish the meeting. Congratulations, Razan, for being the best table topics for today. I honestly enjoyed this first online meeting, and hopefully with the practice, this will become even better because we know it was our first time using this platform. So with time, we will get used to it. We will figure out how our computers work, so don't worry about that. Now, this is time to end, but before that, I have few announcements. We'll be proceeding with our meetings as usual using Zoom. So now all of you guys have configured your laptops, so it would be easier for you to access later on. It would be the same time here. And I have also we have our Facebook page you could follow. It's Mercury Toastmasters. We have an Instagram page. It's called also Mercury Toastmasters for those of you who don't know. And in case you are interested in subscribing to our mailing list, please let us know so that we can add your emails and you could get our invites and any updates about our meetings. So that's it for today. I hope to see you next time. And please, we would like to hear from you about feedback about our meeting. How did it go? Any suggestions that you have to improve this? And anything on your mind, just let us know. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Soraya. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Also, if you have any questions,
I
can answer them.
tiny announcement.
Yes.
Me and Hussein are going out to eat after the meeting.
Stay home.
That's the announcement.
We're staying home. We're staying home.
You can always do that virtually. You can do that virtually.
Is there any restaurant open for you to go eat?
They're not open.
Virtual restaurant. Virtual.
Only for delivery, I think.
What?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Hey. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. You may leave. Bye.
Leave.
You can stay to socialize if you want.
Yes, we can get to know you guys. Also, if you have any questions. Does anyone have any questions?
Like we usually do in Beehive. We stay.
My idea sorry. لا my idea was انه طالما no one of us قادر يظهر ياكل منعير ساعة اللي بده يطلب نرجع على الشات هيدا بعد ساعة كأنه عادي ظهرنا مع بعض عم ناكل not a bad idea صراحة يعني ما.
No, it's not a bad
By the
idea.
way أنا قصدت أحط هاي الباك أنا no that's the point إنه can't tell me apart from Iron Man يعني.
I know you meant it. I had to point it out.
ثور بيشبهك على فكرة.
I had to point it out.
ليك أعطيني بعد شهرين راح أشبه ثور بإند جيم.
والله عليك.
الأكل اللي عم ناكل.
صراحة
صراحة ما عم باكل
شيء.
أنا كان نامي مان.
شوية شعر ودان كأنك ثور.
ما عندي شيء هدول.
شوية شعر ودان كأنك ثور مش طبيعي. خلنا نشرق
ثور.
Let's just
باي
بس سيرسي أنا اللي بدي إياه يطلب وبعد ساعة يرجع أنا I don't mind.
Okay, we could do that if you want. We can chat over WhatsApp and plan all of this. No, I just wanna see if any of our new guests have any questions that we could answer before we end this meeting.
Yes. هلا طالما ما حنشوف بعض directly.
You could raise your hand.
نصير members.
Yes. Can you just? I didn't hear. I was just looking.
Yes. طالما نحن ما حنشوف بعض directly كيف الواحد منا ممكن يكون member إذا ما قادر يدفع أو يعبي فورم أو اللي هو هلا الفورم ممكن ينبعت online بس غير هيك.
هلا إذا بدك all the details we can talk with you on the side. هيك we can elaborate أكتر عليهم. But mainly we're going to have to adapt يعني basically لحديت ما إنه things get better. But there is a solution that we are working on currently. Okay.
Okay. I have a question, please.
Yes. Yes, please.
When will the next meeting be?
It will be next Tuesday. Yes, it will be next Tuesday at 7, same as this time, and through Zoom.
Okay. And I have more question. خليني أسأل في أسئلة بالعربي.
Yes.
كيف فينا نكون ممبر بهذا الشيء؟ more than a guest إنه member.
فيك تحكي سوريا أو تحكينا.
Okay, so بدكم let me share with you our contact information.
I followed سوريا on Instagram. هلا I can.
Okay, guys, this is my number. Okay, guys, I'm writing my number in the chat box. You can save it, and you can contact me. Okay.
While doing stretching exercises.
Okay. And I just wanted to clarify something that this is a shorter version of our usual meeting. Usually we have 3 sections in our meetings. We have the prepared speeches, the table topics, just like today, and the evaluation. However, since it's our first online meeting, we're testing the platform. We decided to go for a shorter version, and later on we would add speeches to our meetings. And usually the prepared speeches, the members prepare a speech from our educational program, and they deliver it during the session, and they get evaluated afterwards.
To clarify, usually it's not longer, but the table topics is shorter, and we have speakers instead.
Yes.
Because we finish at the same time usually, so just so that they don't think it's until 10
of course.
or 11.
No. So any more questions?
When are the meetings?
Sorry, Hamad? Hamra. Yes, usually we meet in Beehive Hamra. كمان same time, same date.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Omar, you had a question?
لا بدي اتصال على خالد انه حتى لما عم نحكي سوشياليزم جايب لي عطابه يا زلمه.
لا that's a cue.
By the way, guys, if you can نزلوا house party, it can you can open a video call with each other and you could play some games there.
No, this is insane.
It's better than عرفنا بلاوينات. سوري هلا بحط لك اياها. خلاص
بعدين ما قريت الاسم.
Is this better?
أيوة سلام.
على فكرة guys we can organize outing easier هلا إذا فيها house party وهول الألعاب تبعك فينا next week بعد الميتنج to organize an outing. بدنا ننقل على
تعال نلعب
I have a
هيدا
question
الشيء
about
جيم.
house party actually.
إذا بدكم فيكم تسووا group on WhatsApp يعني it's easier.
عندنا group بس for members. So once you join we can you can be did you fill a membership form?
We'll have the
So we have a group for Toastmasters members. Once you join, you can join it. But I'm always following up to the guests privately. Come in. So if you have any activity or anything, I will let you know.
Okay.
Do you have a specific policy about how many times guests can attend? Should everybody be a member?
You can attend as many times as you want. You just have to be familiar with the meetings to become a member, at least twice, and try table topics in order to join our club.
Thank you.
Everyone, I have to go. See you, and thank you so much.
Bye.
I'll be taking my leave.
Do you have any more questions before we close? We end the meeting.
لا أنا
Last one standing.
إيه؟
Okay, perfect.
أنا بدي
So in case you
Bye-bye.
have, bye. In case any more questions, I just left my number so you can copy it. And see you next week, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Bye.
تحتاج meeting والله. We had 27 guests in total.
27 مش attendees قصدك.
على هيدا الشيء تحت.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna end the meeting now.
And to show, but thank you.